Hey guys, it's Mr. Wolfie back again. Okay, so I do these political discussion videos because I'm actually kind of invested in the current political atmosphere, where I'm very interested in who's going to become president of the United States because it actually applies to a lot of things. Now the problem is that we don't really have a good choice to make here. We can kind of, you could kind of argue that if you're kind of a leftist, which, you need to be far left for this, Jill Stein is a more capable and balanced option than Hillary Clinton. That is I agree with that. I would much rather see Jill Stein than Hillary Clinton because even though Jill Stein's policies are nothing, like 80% of the stuff she says I don't really agree with, she's very openly not about what the kind of stuff Hillary is about. You know what I mean? But, you got Gary Johnson, who is an alternative to Trump, and, other than the few, flubs that he's had, he's a very much more capable person than Donald Trump. So really he should be, the right-leaning people's candidate, even though he's technically a libertarian. Libertarians are supposed to be kind of in centrists logically. But, Trump's not even a Republican. I don't know why. Okay, I'm going to address this right off the bat. How on earth did we get here, people? This is not my fault at all. I didn't vote for any of these people in the primaries, okay? I wouldn't have picked Hillary Clinton out of the pile. Not at all. I wouldn't have picked Donald Trump. I've yet to vote for Donald Trump, and I really don't intend to. I don't know how the heck he won out over the huge field of Republican options that were actually, logical, decent options. Like, even if you kind of disagreed with little fundamental things, you couldn't have disagreed to the point where you were like, Donald Trump's the better option here. You couldn't have. People picked him. Okay, so I hear a lot of people saying that, oh, the American people deserve better than this. I don't know if that's true, man, because the American people are the reason we're here. The American people are the reason Donald Trump is the Republican candidate and Hillary Clinton is the Democratic one. Well, Hillary Clinton cheated, she's pretty much cheated most of her political career, but at the same time, with a little more push and a little more help from the American people, Bernie Sanders would have been the Democratic choice. So what the heck? Okay, anyway, point is, as much as I don't like Donald Trump and I've yet to vote for him, I don't really intend to. I don't know. I don't know anymore. I guess the most logical option for me would be Gary Johnson, but the reason I don't want to vote for Hillary, and the reason I'm actually physically scared of a Hillary Clinton presidency, is it's a several component thing. Okay, so we have the three branches of government. We have the legislative, executive, and the judicial branch. And they kind of keep each other in check to where one branch isn't like all-consuming, I own the country kind of thing. It's not a monarchy in that way. We vote in people into these various offices, and they have very limited powers. Just a second, They have very limited powers bestowed to them by the Constitution of the United States of America, alright? So, here's the problem. People are like, when people say, oh, Hillary Clinton's going to do this, and then the comeback is always, well, you said Barack Obama was going to do that, why didn't he do it if it's such a big deal? Let me explain to you that Barack Obama was president while Republicans pretty much owned the Senate and the House of Representatives, and the Supreme Court has been really balanced to where there's no, other than a couple of issues, there's been no, heavy leaning in one direction power within the Supreme Court, because the Supreme Court consists of several different judges, or I don't even remember the exact number off the top of my head. It would say in here, and so that keeps things from being too left or too right, and they actually have debates among themselves, so that there's actually some control there, some checks and balances. See, the thing is, since Scalia died, there's a open slot where a very conservative-minded judge would have been, and Barack Obama was wanting to put in. Okay, so here's the deal: the president has the ability to under normal circumstances, when they get into office, say, I want this person to be a judge on the Supreme Court. And the Congress has the ability to say yes or no on that decision. So they have to like kind of, they keep each other in check in that way. Now, because Barack Obama's been trying to put people in certain ways, and the Republican-controlled legislative branch has been like, no, we're not going to do it because you're going to unbalance things. It's been kind of at a stalemate, and so we got like a slot open. Now, the thing is, if Hillary Clinton wins the presidency, not only does she get to elect somebody to that open slot, but she gets to pick her presidentially mandated person as well. So she has the ability to implant two people that are very left-leaning, progressive, quote-unquote, people, in, you know, basically anybody she wants kind of in there. And technically, the Congress is allowed to say yes or no to that. The thing with that is, not only is the presidential seat open here, but several positions in the Senate and House of Representatives. So, if the Supreme Court becomes unbalanced, if she wins, and people, democratically elected people in the legislative branch kind of take over, then she gets to implant people into the Supreme Court as well that are left-leaning. Suddenly you have all three branches of government under her control, or at least in a position where she is the figurehead of all three rather than just one branch. So it kind of gives her complete power over any decision that she could ever hope to make as a president. She wouldn't even have to do executive orders. She would have complete veto power over anything that happens to get through that would be conservative-minded in the House and the Senate. If there's something she can't do, or the legislative branch can't do, the Supreme Court can do it at her kind of prodding, which is basically how several things happened while Barack Obama was in there. And in one of her leaked emails, or actually a bunch of her leaked emails, because that's been a thing, right? You know, I don't even want to get into that. Anybody that's keeping up with it should be very concerned about all the stuff that's in those leaked emails, because it shows how corrupt and how just not necessarily that they're doing bad things or illegal things. It's just her and the people that surround her are jerks that hate all of you. They hate all of us. They see us as ways to get more powerful, to win. It's like if your favorite football team's coach didn't see you or the players as anything other than pawns in their game to win stuff for themselves. You know, it wasn't about the whole team or anything. It was just, how can me as a coach, how can I become this legendary figure and become more powerful? It's the same basic principle. It's all she is as a person. So, you know. Anyway, a lot of those emails said things like, you know, they do plan on not just making gun control more strict, but there was actually talk about, you know, bans, confiscations, buyback programs, that sort of thing. There's a whole lot of issues regarding possible free speech violations, religious violations, just, you know, invasions of privacy. All kinds of things are going to go on if she has the ability to just do whatever the heck she wants. So that's why I'm not voting for her. And I can't tell you who to vote for. I can just kind of inform you, person to person, why I have come to the conclusions I have come to. And, you know, you can choose what you want. Because, honestly, is there a better option? Not really. And so it just comes down to, at least please do your research before you vote. I mean, you've got a few more weeks here to come up with something. Watch the last debate. I know there's going to be more stupid, what did Trump say in 1985 scandals and stuff. I don't even know. You know, there's going to be more email scandals. It's just going to keep going and going. But that shouldn't cloud what the big picture here is. The big picture is, if Hillary Clinton is elected president, she will not just be a president in the sense that she will be in that office, in that role of president. She will have puppet-like control over the entire government of the United States. Our entire federal system of 3-branch checks and balances will be under her control. And that's why I am very concerned about her becoming president. And why I really hope she loses. But anyway, guys, I'll probably wind up with 2 mysterious holes in the back of my head on top of a mountain because of making this video. But there it is. Peace out. Love you guys. This has been Mr. Wolfie.